Emotions. Emotional intelligence and feelings. I'm learning about this, and I wanted to share my awareness around, emotions and feelings and the things that sometimes we don't really understand. I actually ordered this feelings chart, and it kind of helps you break down what you're feeling, and it breaks it down into the outer thing. So this emotional wheel is shaped. It's a colorful shape. In the center, it has our basic core emotions. That's sadness, disgust, anger, anticipation, joy, fear, surprise, and trust. Radiating toward the outer edges are the less intense variants of those core emotions. For example, when you feel irritated, it's a milder form of anger. A lot of times we don't know how we feel. And then when somebody asks us, we have this generic response like, I feel good, I feel well, which those words are actually not feelings. It's not a feeling. So a feeling would be, today I feel peaceful. School is wrapping up. It was the last week. And guess what? I feel so peaceful and calm because I don't have to worry about, oh my God, I got to do this. I got a break now. I can actually breathe. So I'm feeling peaceful. How are you guys feeling this morning? How are you guys feeling? Is it fear? Is it disgust? Is it sadness? Is it happy? Is it surprise? Or is it anger? Right? And then let's break it down further. Critical, distant. This is anger. Critical, distant, frustrated, aggressive, mad, hateful, threatened, hurt. Then you have fear, humiliated, rejected, submissive, insecure, anxious, scared. Then you have surprise, startled, confused, amazed, excited. Then you have happy, joyful, interested, proud, accepted, powerful, peaceful, intimate, optimistic. Just break it down. Sometimes we just don't know how we feel. We don't know how to put the words to it. This helps put the words to how you're feeling. And your feelings are valid, okay? So let me break down what I've been learning this week about feelings. Feelings aren't facts. Nevertheless, they lead to them. It may not be the fact that you want to deal with. Emotions are tools. Emotions are tools. A lot of people don't know how to interact with these emotions, so they don't deal with them. A lot of people don't know how to interact with their emotions, so they do not deal with them. Emotions are a part of our survival guide. You shouldn't have to disregard your emotions to make a sound, informed decision, okay? Could it be that your emotions play a pivotal part in your decision making? Yes, they do. There's a difference between dismissal and deregulation. Dismissal, letting go of; deregulation, reduction of elimination. Emotional intelligence, the ability to, this is the definition for emotional intelligence, is the ability to identify and manage one's emotions as well as the emotions of others. Okay? There are 5 components to emotional intelligence. There's self-awareness. What are you feeling? Then there's self-regulation, managing disruptive moments. Then there's self-motivation, internal state of to keep going. Then you have empathy. That's to understand and share the feelings of another. Then you have social awareness. That's a person's ability to construct the perspectives of others, of other groups, individuals, and the communities, and apply the understanding to the interactions with them. Okay? Many people don't know what they are feeling. Many people do not know what they're feeling. They don't. What's going on? I don't know. I just feel a tightness, for example. I feel a tightness in my chest. I feel like I got butterflies. I just feel a little, you don't know. Like you can't put words to it. Have you ever asked somebody, like, what's wrong? I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. It's just something not right. A lot of people don't know what they're feeling. They don't know how to express that, right? A lot of us don't know how to regulate our emotions because we don't want to be honest with ourselves. Let me say that again. A lot of us don't know how to regulate our emotions because we don't want to be honest with ourselves because we are embarrassed or afraid or nervous. And when we're not honest with ourselves, we don't encourage others to be honest with themselves. When we're not honest with ourselves, we don't encourage others to be honest with themselves. That's low emotional intelligence. Often people who are vulnerable are often seen as weak. Being vulnerable is emotional intelligence. Being vulnerable is emotional intelligence. Okay, it is all okay to be vulnerable. A lot of us may have been taught that it wasn't safe to be vulnerable. You know, when your kids crying, or maybe you were crying as a child, and your mama say, "Be quiet, you can't cry no blood, or just stop all that crying," right? And now you don't feel safe being vulnerable because you know your mom said that, or your dad said that to you, and now you form this belief that crying is for weak people. I don't supposed to cry. I'm supposed to show emotions. A lot of times when I'm on Zoom calls with people and during different communities that I'm in, a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't want to cry. I'm trying not to cry." And I just be like, man, cry. Like, cry. Like, why do we apologize for feeling these emotions? It is valid to feel those emotions. Being vulnerable is emotional intelligence. It is, because we're always humbling ourselves, right? For example, like say you say something to somebody, right? And the person says, for example, that really hurt my feelings. I was wrong. That's emotional intelligence. I was wrong. Like recognizing somebody, having empathy, right? And apologizing, because you don't know what was triggered in that person when you said this or did that, right? If the other person doesn't have emotional intelligence, their response may be, "You're being childish. You're silly. Does that matter to you?" Instead say this. Tell me more. Instead say this. Tell me more about what's frustrating you. Is there something else that reminds you of this moment? Because a lot of times when we react, your body keeps score. The body never forgets. You may have forgotten what happened, but somebody says something or does something, your body reacts. It tenses up, right? Then you automatically respond just how you responded during that time that thing happened, right? So let's talk about it. How can I make you feel more lovable? Insert boundaries. Boundaries are very important. You must have boundaries. Emotional intelligence demands humility, self-motivation, internal state that helps us initiate and continue or terminate a behavior. People with emotional intelligence have ups and downs. They do. They're able to say, "You know what? I don't feel good, and I may not meet this goal." Or they may say, "You know what? I don't feel good. Nevertheless, I'm going to do it anyway." It is possible. It is possible to rewire your brain. It's possible to rewire it. Empathy and social awareness. Empathy is getting down there with the person in the pain and feeling it with them. That's empathy. Getting down there with that person and feeling it with them. A lot of people don't know how to do that because they're not comfortable with their own emotions. Okay? People don't engage with pain in other people because they don't engage in pain within themselves. People don't engage in pain with other people because they cannot engage in that pain with themselves. You can't truly connect with other people until you fully connect with yourself. You can't connect with other people until you fully connect with you. If we don't acknowledge our emotions, how can we become intimate with others? Empathy is being sensitive to empathy is sensing other people's sadness. Oh my God, I have that. When I say to the 10th power, people can say, "Oh, I'm fine, I'm good," and I'll be like, "No, you're not. I feel something else. I have a deep feeling of people when I'm talking to them, or I see them, I can just see something, and it's empathy. It's sensing other people's sadness." Avoiding eye contact because they're feeling uncomfortable. EQ, emotional intelligence, is responsible for, studies show, emotional intelligence is responsible for 58% of our job's performance. 90% of top performers have high EQ. People with high EQ make $20,000 more than people with low EQ counterparts. If you're trying to boss up, you need to engage with your emotions, okay? What good is it to be over people that you cannot connect with? People do not want to work with robots. Okay? They want to work for people who understand and can communicate. And this is very important in a business. If you have a business or you're an entrepreneur and you don't know how to communicate and talk with people, your business is going to struggle. It's going to suffer, right? If somebody changes their mind about a product, or they don't want the product, or they don't want the service, do not attach. Like sometimes you would attach our emotions to it. They're rejecting me. I'm not good enough. So what's wrong with me? Why? Like a lot of people, if you don't have that EQ, I'm telling you, it affects it affects all your relationships. Okay, in business and personal. Okay. You can't reflect on something you try to push away. You can't reflect on something you try to push away. Feelings aren't facts, nevertheless they lead to them. Feelings aren't facts, nevertheless they lead to them. Why do you get mad for example, why do you get mad when a person doesn't text right back? Is that you? Do you get mad when somebody don't text right back? I know that was me. Okay. Do you have abandonment issues? That could be that you have abandonment issues. That was me. Listen, when that person did not text right back or did not answer my call, I would, especially if, I was in relationships where I would just take care of people. I thought that was my job because growing up, that's what I did, as a child, that's what I saw. And so I would have a phone, like say the phone, for example, this real talk. The phone was in my name. If I'm calling you and texting, you ain't responding to me, so you ain't responding or you're not answering my call or responding to my text, I cut that phone off. That was me. And I'm learning about this stuff. I'm like, that's my abandonment issues. Like, girl, it affects everything. Like, we don't even know. Okay, so why don't you like, so another example. Why don't you like people touching you? Like somebody, don't touch me. I don't like people touching me. Could it be in your childhood somebody touched you inappropriately? See, it's never about that one thing. It's about the stuff that we don't know about, that we don't see. I get mad if you don't respond to my text. Do you have abandonment issues? Because that was me, sis. When people did not respond to my text, I was like, they're doing something. I don't trust them. Get somebody else to do it. That was my trigger. And I realized that was my abandonment issue. That was me. So that's why I wanted to ask you that. Okay, so another thing was hands in my face. Somebody talking to me, doing all that right there. You're too close. You know where that came from? I saw my mother get abused. I saw her get beat up, okay, by her husband. So for me, somebody in your face was, no, I don't put your hands in my face. Don't do that. I know people, because I talk with my hands. So I know people do that. But when people get up in my face, it's like, I'm triggered. And it goes back to a time when I saw my mom be in abusive relationships and they was all in her face. And then all of a sudden they just start punching her. So for me, that wasn't safe. Straight up. A lot of times we, just look like, I want you to do inventory of what you like and what you don't like, what triggers you and what, there are good triggers and bad triggers. So just really just check in to see like, why do I, when somebody's talking loud, why do I get triggered? Or somebody's yelling, why do I get triggered? It reminds me of fighting in my home. Fighting, fussing and fighting. That's what it reminds me of. So I don't like people talking loud to me. I don't like people in my face. I don't. Because growing up, when I saw that, stuff went down. People got beat up. People got hurt. People went to the hospital. People went to jail. And then I found myself in those same situations. Because what you don't deal with, guess what? It's going to show up in your life. I was in an abusive relationship. Okay? Woke up with somebody's hand around my throat. Okay? The stuff that you don't address, I'm telling you, you just continue to attract that stuff. You will attract until you heal it, till you reveal it, until you get the support and help that you need. We don't even understand how this stuff affects our entire life. Emotional intelligence is everything. I'm trying to tell you. So sis, you said you was in, abusive relationships. Did you see this growing up? I saw it growing up. Okay. I knew it wasn't normal, but at the same time, it's all I saw. It's all I knew. So for me, love hurts. People do that because they love you. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. So that's what I attracted. Unconsciously. Like, I wasn't saying, hey, I want somebody to beat me up. I want somebody, wake me up out my sleep and choke me around my neck. No, you know what I'm saying? You don't say you want that, but when you don't heal that, when you're not aware of that, you attract that. You do. See, you saw your mom. Same here. Same here. I had to unlearn so many things I saw growing up because it was not love. I did not know what the proper way for a man to love a woman because I didn't see it. I saw abuse. That's why I thought unconsciously that was love. That's what I saw. Fighting, abuse, cheating. That's what I saw. I saw staying with somebody, they putting you out. So for me, I always had to have my own place. Yeah, I would let guys stay with me. And when they get on my nerve, you got to go. Get your stuff and go. Go. I always had my own place because I did not want to be the one put out. I know there were times in the middle of the night we had to leave and go stay in hotels. So I was like, oh no, I ain't doing it. So I always had my own place, like super independent. Like that song came out. Yep, that's me. That was me. And it's so many things that I thought was right and they were wrong. And I'm constantly unlearning this stuff. So, and I just want to go into the next statement. Okay, so why do you feel the need this is another one. Why do you feel the need to constantly repeat yourself? In your family growing up, were you not listened to as a child? And you have to constantly repeat yourself over and over again because you feel like nobody's listening. Hello. Okay, your past will determine your future if you don't go back and address those issues. I say all that to say this. Your past will determine your future if you don't go back and address those issues. I just want to keep saying that. Your past will determine your future if you don't go back and address those issues. I'm trying to tell you, that was me. Your past will determine your future if you don't go back and address those issues. And then you're walking around here talking about this is the way I am. I'm always going to be this way. Well, how is that working for you? Because it wasn't working for me. It was not working for me. I was in a cycle until I had to unlearn this stuff, get support, get help, do my personal work. All right. Emotional intelligence affects your entire life. It does. You want to get better? This is where you start with emotional intelligence. Nothing in your life will get better until you get better. Your past will determine your future. Yes, if you do not go back and address those issues, you'll become an adult, right? But the child in you is running the show. That was me. My child was running the show, honey. I was like, I had to tell this girl, sit down somewhere. I got this. Because she was running the show. The little kid will be running your life. It's so important for us to develop emotional intelligence. It's so important for us to develop emotional intelligence. It affects everything. Everything. Take one day. Okay, so this is the homework now because I can give you all this information, but information without implementation is a devastation. Okay, so here's the homework. Take one day, grab a journal, write down what you feel, good or bad, then ask why and watch what comes up. Okay, take one day. Saturday, Sunday, whatever your day, you just chill. Okay. Whatever day you take to just chill out. Get a journal, write down what you feel, good or bad, and then ask why and watch what comes up. When you have emotional intelligence, you will be able to interact with other people. Your relationships will get better. Your business will get better. Your life will get better. That's how important emotional intelligence is. And when you don't have that, you're constantly fighting with people. You're constantly trying to be right. You're constantly trying to have the last word. You're constantly trying. It's a dead end. It's a dead end. That's why a lot of times when I post videos or share different things, people be in the comments, just having a whole fit. And I let them have it by themselves because it has nothing to do with me. A lot of times the things I share shine a light on things that people have been ignoring. And they become triggered. And they project. That's what happens when you don't address your stuff. You'll be projecting that stuff on everybody else. Just take this stuff, literally throwing up on people. You got to deal with that stuff. You have to address those past issues. You have to address those past issues. The things that people say and do is not about you. You may find yourself in it if you also have had that experience. I only share from my personal experience. I don't know what you went through because I don't know you. But I know what I've been through. And I see posts that reminds me of different things that I made it through. So I share that. Not just for that person, but whoever else may need it. Okay? Because I'm so self-aware. My self-awareness is off the charts. Okay? So I recognize things within myself. And I check in instead of checking somebody. Instead of checking somebody, check in. It has nothing to do with the other person. And if somebody is in the comment section going back and forth saying things, know that it is not about you. It's about what you said that triggers something within them. And a trigger is an invitation for investigation. That's what a trigger is. Let me check in. Why am I feeling like this? Why am I nervous? Why am I shaking? Like the body keeps scores until you address those issues. Your little girl or your little boy will be running the show. And it's so easy to see for me when I know that I'm talking to a hurt little boy or a hurt little girl in a grown person's body. It's so easy for me to recognize. And I'm like, wow, I wonder what happened. And I may say, are you okay? Because you just don't know what people have gone through. You just don't know. So the feeling chart. The feeling chart is important. It's able to help you put words to what you're feeling. And feeling good and I'm feeling well, and those are not feelings. We automatically say that because we hear other people say that. Well, how you doing? I'm doing well. I'm doing good. Those are not feelings. Feelings are these words here. Despair, depressed, lonely, bored, peaceful, startled, scared, inferior, worthless, ridiculed, insecure, jealous, violated, furious, hostile, irritated, withdrawn, suspicious, skeptical, sarcastic. These are feelings. You don't know, you don't know. Okay, I'm here to bring awareness. It is a Mental Health Awareness Month. And it affects our lives. You want to get better? Do you want to get better? You want to thrive, not just survive? Emotional intelligence. Somebody caught on backfired. Emotional intelligence is everything, okay? The people that you see doing really, really good, I can promise you their emotional intelligence is off the chart. They have emotional intelligence. Low emotional intelligence, well, you know what that looks like. Okay? So that's all I had. I wanted to share that because I think that we need to be aware of this. Awareness is the key. Now that you're aware, so you have your homework, right? Take one day, grab a journal, write down what you're feeling, good or bad. Then ask why and watch what comes up. Somebody said something or does something and you start feeling like, I don't know, something ain't right. Write down what you're feeling, right? Write down what you're feeling. Could be one of these feelings here. And then start to investigate. Why am I feeling like this? What did this person say? Right? It's only everything. So, wanted to bring your awareness to that. Feelings and facts about emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the ability to identify and manage one's own emotions as well as other people's emotions. And emotions are a part of our survival guide. You shouldn't have to disregard your emotions to make and lead to a sound, informed decision. A lot of people don't know how to interact with their emotions, so they don't deal with them. Emotions are tools. Feelings aren't facts. Nevertheless, they lead to them. Feelings aren't facts, nevertheless, they lead to them. Feelings aren't facts, nevertheless, they lead to them. I want to highlight some things that really stood out for me that I want to reiterate with you. A lot of us don't know how to regulate our emotions because we don't want to be honest with ourselves, because we may be embarrassed or afraid or nervous. And when we're not honest with ourselves, we don't encourage other people to be honest with themselves. That's low emotional intelligence. What else I want to say that stands out? People don't engage in pain in other people because they don't engage in their own, in the pain within themselves. You can't truly connect with people until you have fully connected with yourself. You can't truly connect with people. I am in school I'm a student counselor. I don't consider myself to be a therapist. I mean, I didn't say, are you a counselor or a therapist? So I'm in school to be a counselor student. I'm a student counselor. I'm in school for that. So this is one of the things they gave us like a printout of this, but I actually ordered this from Amazon because I wanted to have it on hand. But yes, that's I am. So yeah, and I just finished up my semester. I got a break until the end of May, so I'm taking full advantage of this break, this time. That's why I'm peaceful. I'm peaceful right now because I don't got no homework, I don't got no assignments. All that stuff is done for now until the next semester. I'm in my third semester, so I'm just getting started in this. I'm just learning about this and sharing what I learned because sharing is caring. That's why. Thank you. That makes me feel good. That makes me really feel really good. I'm learning. And this stuff is fascinating to me. I actually once you find your lane, you just love it. I love it. I love when we have our mock client sessions and we work, I'm actually working with somebody. I love that. I love listening and seeing how I can support other people. That is what lights me up. And it took me decades to figure out what I want to do with my life. I am 46 and just now figuring out what I want to do with my life. It's never too late. First of all, it is never too late. I worked many years in behavioral health. Awesome. Did you love it? I just love it. I love learning this stuff. I'm like, what? A birth order and different things. Like so many things affect our lives and we just have no idea. And so to learn about this, and it's just amazing to me. And I love sharing because what you don't know, you don't know. I didn't know anything about emotional intelligence. I didn't know anything about personal development. Excuse me. I didn't know about this stuff. And now that I'm learning about it and being able to sit with people in their emotions, in their just have empathy for people. It's just, I love it. I really, really love it. Empathy is sensing other people's sadness. And that is something I always did. I didn't understand it. I was like, I don't know. Why do I feel like this? Why? People be saying, oh, I'm okay, everything. You're not. You're not. I feel something else. And so now I'm getting the tools to be able to help other people. I'm also a transformational coach, which also helps me to be able to listen to people. Just listen. Not trying to fix or save or solve anything, but just listening. Because you don't know the power it is just to sit and listen to somebody. Because sometimes people don't have nobody to listen to them. They always going to people, or people always coming to them. They have nobody to listen to them. Listening is a very important skill. And listen to understand, not listen to reply. A lot of people, hurry up and say what you got to say because I got something to say. They're not even listening to you, right? I can repeat back what you said to me because I'm present and I'm listening and I'm a safe person, a safe space. So it's everything. I wanted to share this with you all. I hope you have an amazing Saturday. Working with psychiatric units was very interesting, but very draining. Yeah, I could imagine that. Psychiatric units, interesting, but draining. Yeah, that's why self-care is so important. Like after certain sessions, it's like, I got to go outside. I got to walk. I got to take my socks off and walk outside. I got to have some deep breaths. I got to take a bubble bath. I got to take care of me. Like it's very important because you can, people just constantly pouring. It can be draining. So you do have to practice that self-care. So now school is out. I'm practicing self-care because school was about to drive me crazy. I'm going to tell you, I'm so glad to have this week's of break, this 3-week break. so I can breathe and take care of me and do what I want to do, not what I have to do or need to do. So self-care is important also. But yeah, I'll be back next Saturday if it's the Lord's will, sharing something else about mental health, because this is Mental Health Month, and I want to share these things that I'm learning. Yes, self-care is so important. I'm trying to tell you. Okay, I'm complete. Let me stop this